Welcome to the deep dive. We're jumping straight into your question today. I know you're keen for answers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're doing this 500-calorie deficit. You're walking 5 to 6 miles every day, which is great, by the way.
That's some serious mileage.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the big question on your mind is, okay, when? When do I actually get to see some results?
It's always the question, isn't it? You're putting in the work, you're feeling motivated, but you need that feedback, that visual confirmation.
Exactly. That motivation can dip if you feel like nothing's happening.
Totally. So getting a realistic timeline in your head is, well, it's pretty crucial.
Right. And for this deep dive, we're going to lean on some really good insights from Paul Revelia. He's a physique coach.
Oh, yeah. Paul knows his stuff. Lots of practical experience.
Definitely. He shares a lot on his YouTube channel, about his own journey and what he sees with clients when they're tracking fat loss.
Good source.
So our mission here is basically to give you a clearer picture. What should you look for? And the big one, when?
Yeah, and actually, before we even get to the when, there's something important to touch on first.
Yeah.
It's about that deficit calculation. We often use apps, trackers, online calculators.
Right, those TDEE calculators.
Exactly. And they're helpful starting points, no doubt. But the real proof of a deficit, it's actual fat loss.
Okay, so the math might say one thing.
But your body might be doing another. Sometimes those calculations suggest a deficit, but if fat isn't coming off, well, you're likely not truly in one, or not a significant enough one.
Gotcha. The body's response is the ultimate judge.
Pretty much.
Okay, so let's maybe illustrate this. Revelia talks about his own early days, right? Working with his coach, Lane Norton.
Yeah, he does. It's a relatable story.
He remembers feeling that exact frustration you might be feeling now.
Yeah.
He's hitting his macros, protein, carbs, fats, all dialed in.
Doing the cardio,
ticking all the boxes.
Yeah.
But he's looking in the mirror day after day and thinking, where is it? Where are the changes?
Ugh, yeah. That feeling is so common. You know you're doing the work, but the visual feedback just isn't there yet.
It really highlights that lag, doesn't it? Between starting the process and actually seeing it reflected back at you.
Definitely a delay. It takes time for the body to, make those visible shifts.
But Revelia shares something that was kind of a game changer for him, and it's something he really pushes with his clients now.
Ah, the check-ins.
Exactly. The power of proper, regular check-ins that are about way more than just hopping on the scale.
Oh, absolutely crucial. He stresses this a lot. A comprehensive check-in. That means pictures.
Which we'll definitely talk more about.
Yeah, they're huge. And taking measurements. He mentions waist, glutes, chest specifically. Good spots to track.
Right. Tangible numbers beyond weight.
And also just tuning in. How are you feeling? Energy levels? How are clothes fitting? It's multifaceted.
So these different data points can show progress even if the scale is being stubborn.
Precisely. The scale is just one tool, often a confusing one early on. It's only telling part of the story. Revelia's approach really hammers home that you need multiple angles to see the full picture.
Okay, so let's get to the core question then, the timeline. Based on Revelia's experience, working with tons of clients, when should you realistically start noticing something?
Right, the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
He suggests you should see some kind of change, even small, within a few days, actually.
Some days, really?
Maybe subtle, but something. Definitely within a week, he says. And he's pretty firm that if 2 weeks go by and you've seen nothing across the board.
Across pictures, measurements, how you feel.
Yeah, all of it. If nothing's shifted in 2 weeks, you're almost certainly not in a true caloric deficit, or at least not one significant enough to drive change yet.
That 2-week mark seems like a key checkpoint then.
It does. He advocates for weekly check-ins, and that gives enough time, generally, for the body to respond in a way you can measure or see.
So 2 weeks of consistent effort with no discernible change means it's time to reevaluate the deficit itself.
Exactly. Or look at other factors like adherence, maybe stress, sleep, stuff like that. But the deficit is the prime suspect.
And how obvious these changes are can differ too, right? Depending on where you're starting from.
Yeah, that's a good point he makes. If someone starts with a higher body fat percentage, let's say over 25%, for instance, they might actually see the scale drop more noticeably in those first few weeks.
Why is that? Is it more fat loss initially?
It's often a mix. Some fat loss, yes, but also often a significant drop in water weight as stored carbohydrates, glycogen, get depleted. Glycogen holds on to water, you see.
Ah, okay. So that initial whoosh on the scale isn't necessarily all fat.
Not usually, no.
Oh.
But as you get leaner, say closer to 20% body fat for men, just as an example he uses,
Right.
the scale can become Well, less reliable is the only indicator. Scale weight might fluctuate more due to water, sodium workouts, while the actual fat loss is steadier but perhaps less dramatic in terms of pounds per week.
And that's where the other things become more important.
Exactly. That's when your waist measurement shrinking or seeing more definition in pictures really becomes the undeniable proof.
So timeline is roughly 1 to 2 weeks to see something. But what you see and how obvious it is depends a bit on your starting body fat.
You got it.
Now, Revelia brings up something else that's really interesting, especially for men listening. Hormones.
Yeah, the testosterone point.
Right. He's observed that as guys lose body fat, get leaner, their actual hormone profile can improve. Testosterone levels might increase naturally.
It's fascinating how interconnected it all is, isn't it? We often think diet, exercise, fat loss, but the internal hormonal environment shifts too.
So losing fat can actually help boost testosterone.
Potentially, yes. For men who might have had suppressed levels due to higher body fat, getting leaner can allow those levels to rise towards their natural optimum. And that's significant because better testosterone levels can actually help the process further. Well, improved testosterone can positively impact metabolism. You might burn slightly more calories at rest. It supports muscle maintenance or even growth, which is also metabolically active.
So it creates like a positive feedback loop. Fat loss improves hormones. Improved hormones help further fat loss and body composition.
Kind of, yeah. It can make maintaining progress or pushing further a bit easier, potentially, even without drastically changing the diet or adding tons more exercise at that point.
He even mentions a client, Dan Devine, I think, showing big physique changes naturally.
Yeah, and suggests that this hormonal optimization might have played a real role there, alongside the consistent diet and training, of course.
It shows it's not just simple calories in, calories out math. There's biology happening underneath.
Absolutely. These underlying physiological responses are a huge part of the picture.
Revelia also talks a bit about body recomposition. Can you unpack that?
Sure. Body recomp is basically the goal for many people losing fat while either keeping the muscle they have or maybe even building a little bit of muscle at the same time.
Okay, not just weight loss, but changing the composition of that weight.
Exactly. And Revelia, having lifted for what, like 30 plus years?
Yeah, a long time.
He's noticed that after he diets down, gets lean, his body seems better at staying leaner. Maintaining that lower body fat seems to take less extreme effort over the long haul compared to when he was younger or less consistently trained.
So the body adapts over time with consistent training and dieting cycles.
It seems that way. Consistent resistance training builds a foundation, and strategic fat loss phases can kind of reset things, leading to a more metabolically efficient state long term. It's a marathon, not just a sprint.
That longer-term view is important. It's not just about these initial 2 weeks.
Definitely not.
And speaking of seeing things, let's circle back to those progress pictures. You said they were huge for Revelia.
Oh, massive. He's a huge advocate. He even admits he was kind of embarrassed initially seeing pictures of his own back.
Really?
Well, it's an area you just don't see yourself, right? And maybe it revealed more fat storage there than he realized looking in the mirror. But seeing that change over time became incredibly motivating.
I can see that. Pictures don't lie, I guess.
They offer that objective view that the mirror, or even how you feel day to day, can't always provide. We get used to our reflections.
So changes might be happening on your back, or love handles, or shoulders, areas you don't scrutinize daily.
Exactly. Key fat loss indicator spots for many people, and his tip is super practical, just use your phone.
How does he suggest doing it?
Take a video, stand in good, consistent lighting, slowly turn 360 degrees. Then you can just scrub through the video later and take screenshots. Front, side, back. Simple.
That's smart. Gets all the angles without needing help.
Yeah, makes it easy to be consistent with tracking that visual progress.
And those pictures can be a lifesaver on days when the scale is messing with your head, right?
Oh, absolutely. Which brings us to that crucial point. Please, please don't live and die by the scale number alone.
We've all been there, though, obsessing over that number.
Of course. But Revelia really emphasizes how much body weight can fluctuate completely unrelated to fat loss or gain.
Like what?
Water retention is the big one. It can be influenced by your workout yesterday. Muscle soreness causes inflammation and water retention.
Right.
What you ate, sodium intake, is a classic example. Sleep quality, stress levels. All this stuff can make the scale jump up or down by pounds overnight, masking the real underlying trend in fat loss.
So you could be losing fat steadily, but hold a bit of extra water, and the scale shows no change, or even goes up slightly.
Exactly. It happens all the time, and it can be so discouraging if the scale is your only measure.
That's why the pictures and measurements are key then. They cut through the water weight noise.
Precisely. They give you a much clearer, more reliable picture of actual changes in body composition. And like Revelia mentions, for many people, especially if they're lifting weights, the ideal goal isn't just weight loss anyway.
Right. It's increasing muscle while decreasing fat. Body recomp.
Yeah. And even if fat loss is the main goal, just chasing the scale down aggressively without paying attention to muscle can backfire.
How so?
You risk losing valuable muscle mass, which can hurt your metabolism in the long run. He even touches on how this can be a concern with, like, certain rapid weight loss methods or drugs if muscle preservation isn't prioritized.
Interesting. So tracking multiple things is healthier and gives better info.
Way healthier, way more sustainable, way less crazy making.
Okay, so let's bring it all back home. To answer the original question directly, you're in that 500-calorie deficit. You're walking consistently. You should start looking for those first signs of change within about 1 to 2 weeks.
That's the general window Revelia suggests, based on his experience. 1 to 2 weeks of consistent adherence.
But, and this is the big but, those changes might not shout from the scale right away.
Absolutely not. The scale is just one data point, often a lagging or noisy one initially.
So the call to action here is, start taking those pictures if you haven't already. Be consistent with them.
Yes. Front, side, back. Same lighting, same time of day if possible.
And get that tape measure out. Waist is a great one to track. Maybe hips or glutes too, like Revelia suggests.
Those tangible numbers combined with the visual evidence from photos and just noticing how your clothes fit, how you feel, that whole package tells the real story.
And remember what Revelia said, sometimes the biggest changes are happening where you can't easily see them every day, like your back.
So true. Don't neglect tracking those less visible areas. Be diligent with the full check-in process.
So this whole deep dive really shows it's more complex than just plugging numbers into a calculator, isn't it?
It really is. The math, the caloric deficit, that sets the stage. It's the foundation.
But your body's response is unique.
Totally unique.
Yeah.
Influenced by hormones, water fluctuations, your training history, sleep, stress. All of it plays a role in how and when you see results.
So the advice is, keep observing, keep tracking, using multiple methods.
And try not to get thrown off by the day-to-day ups and downs, especially on the scale. That's just noise most of the time.
Real lasting change takes that consistent effort over time. And honestly, just asking this question and wanting to understand the process shows you're on the right path.
Absolutely. Being attentive and proactive is key. Keep learning about your own body's response.
And hey, if more questions pop up about tracking or deficits or anything else along the way, keep digging. There's always more to explore.
For sure. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks everyone.